Well, everyone, here's the latest and the greatest information on the C8 Mid Engine Corvette.
Just as you start to understand design, there are certain things in your life that strike you as, yes, this is correct. And somehow you have an innate relationship to it. You may not be able to describe it or understand it, but you just feel comfortable. It feels right, and it feels natural.
It's this awe-inspiring vehicle, but it's also something that is born out of pure function. And quite frankly, by the time you get to 8, it's the full embodiment of what that is.
We dreamed about it for years, but I would say 30 years ago, no one in a million years would have dreamed about us developing this at the Nürburgring.
This car is not evolutionary, it's revolutionary. And you only get one chance to do it right.
Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Now, I want to thank you all for pushing that play button. If you definitely haven't subscribed to the channel yet, definitely please do so. My goal is to reach 20,000 followers this year. As you all know, that was the trailer of the new C8 Mid Engine Corvette documentary. I'm looking forward to that, and I hope you guys are too. Today's video about the latest and the greatest C8 Mid Engine Corvette information that I'm excited to bring to you all. As you can see right now, right in front of us, this is a C8 Mid Engine Corvette black with yellow seat belts. This is the first picture that General Motors actually tweeted regarding the first build of the C8 Mid Engine Corvette. Now, there is some speculation going on whether or not this is the actual VIN number 1 or this is actually VIN number 14. As you all know, Rick Hendrick bought VIN number 1, which was $3 million. Or this car can also belong to my buddy Mike, who owns VIN number 14. With that being said, there are two speculations going on whether or not this car belongs to Rick Hendrick or my friend Mike. There is also some speculation going around that the Corvette production actually started a little bit early, which was January 29th, compared to some people who got February 3rd target production week. With that being said, that means General Motors may end up getting you your C8 Mid Engine Corvette right before you expect it. With the second greatest latest C8 Mid Engine Corvette information, which comes from the dealership in Pennsylvania, Whitmore. Whitmore, which is a dealership I actually have a connection with, they sent me this photo stating that now the C8 Mid Engine Corvette parts are now starting to come into the dealership. As you all can see, the top photo is the actual wheel belongs to the C8 Mid Engine Corvette, which is a Trident spoke in all black, and down below is the high wing spoiler. If you got these two additional things added to your C8 Mid Engine Corvette build, you have to understand that these things will get installed at your dealership and it will not come on your car, which means if you decide to get these Trident spoke gloss black wheels, you will actually end up getting your standard wheels as well, which means you will have two sets of wheels. If you actually decide with the high wing spoiler, you will actually get two spoilers, which is your low spoiler that comes with the car and also your high wing spoiler, which will be installed at the dealership. As you all can see down below, it says just arrived, which means that now these parts are actually being shipped to your dealership to be placed on your C8 Mid Engine Corvette. Now, this does not mean that your car is actually at the dealership, because Quality Control Hold still has a ton of these cars down at the GM plant, still sitting on a lot waiting to get through quality control. Now, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. But now on to the third latest and greatest C8 Corvette information. As you can see here at the top, the C8 first production 4 days resulted in this production mix. 444 cars was actually technically built in the first 4 days of the C8 Corvette production. As you can see now going down this list, you have 298 3LTs, 145 2LTs, and just 1 LT. 50 orange, 107 white, 51 ceramic gray, 2 silver, 81 black, 1 yellow, 41 shadow gray, and 102 red, and 1 rapid blue. Now I'm going to go ahead and say that I believe the 1 yellow and the 1 rapid blue actually belongs to General Motors. I do not think these colors actually belong to customers, as these colors were not available to customers when the first run of C8 production actually started. Now, here's some awesome information for all my Z06 lovers out there. This information is provided us by CorvetteBlogger.com. C8 Corvette Z06 prototype testing alongside a Porsche GT2 RS in California. Now, a lot of you guys are like, well, how do you know this is the Z06? How do you know this isn't the standard C8? Just think about it. Does General Motors have any more purpose right now to actually test the actual Stingray when they're actually already in production at this point? Not at all. If they wanted to test the Stingray, then they would go back to testing against the Porsche 911, which they were doing when they first invented the C8 Mid Engine Stingray base model Corvette. At this point in time, once again, this is the Porsche GT2 RS, which is a top of the line Porsche, by the way. So to me, it only makes sense to actually test the GT2 RS against the new Z06, if you personally ask me. And also, General Motors don't have a reason to wrap the base model Stingray at this point, so we've already seen it. So it does clearly make sense for them to actually wrap the new Z06 Corvette or the hybrid Corvette, depending on which one and which direction you want to go about this. As you can see right now, I personally believe this is the actual Z06 in front of us. In a few seconds, I'm going to go ahead and show you what exactly the Z06 sound like, and me personally, it does sound like the C8R on the racetrack. Now, this clip is very short, so I'm going to play this clip a few times so you guys get an understanding of what it sounds like.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
So within this video, I want to point out a few things that you may not have just caught during that clip, but I actually caught, and I want to add it to this picture right now. If you take a look at this picture right now, take a look at the wheels. These wheels isn't covered up whatsoever. But if you go back and look at that clip as the car is driving through, you can see that the wheels are actually covered up. Why? General Motors may not want to show us the actual calibers and the brakes on this car to kind of give us an indication this could possibly be the C8 Mid Engine Corvette, which is why I also think this car is actually not the Stingray. A lot of you guys are still thinking that they're testing the Stingray, and that's not the case. They're definitely either testing the Z06 or definitely the hybrid at this point. There are a lot of magazines out there, especially Car and Driver, who is expecting this car to be actually a 5.5 naturally aspirated engine. Now, the reason why I also believe this is a 5.5 liter V8 naturally aspirated engine, because as that car goes around that mountain, and you guys can actually look forward to, I didn't hear any turbos whatsoever. I didn't hear a supercharger whatsoever. So that's why I genuinely believe that this could be a 5.5 naturally aspirated V8. Now, once again, this car obviously is not in production, so things could change along the process. General Motors have all the time in the world at this point to produce this car to make it one of the best C8 Mid Engine Corvettes out there, period. And at the same time, General Motors have time to change a lot of stuff for us, mechanical wise, body wise, structure wise, to make this car one of the best Mid Engine Corvette cars out there. And so with me, I personally am waiting to see exactly what this car may be like, because I personally have never owned a Z06, as I've owned a C7 Corvette Grand Sport, and clearly it doesn't have as much horsepower as of right now as a Z06 would possibly have, especially in the C7 model, and definitely probably won't be in the C8 version either. Now, another contributing factor could throw a lot of people off regarding this, whether it's a Z06 or hybrid, is the wing that was actually confirmed to be on the back of the Z06, which this car does not have the wing at the moment. But General Motors obviously have their own permission to test drive this car without having the actual wing on the back, because they still want to cover up the motor to keep us from actually knowing what exactly it is. Now, we go back to this same photo again. Look at the wheels being covered up. This could be for a number of reasons. This could be because GM wants to have the actual styling of these wheels to keep us from actually knowing what this car may be if they have the Z06 logo in there whatsoever. Or it could be, once again, they're trying to cover up the brake system to keep us actually knowing whether or not this is still possibly a Z06 or a hybrid, because I'm assuming the brakes are definitely going to be different from the standard C8 Mid Engine Corvette, which it is in production at this moment in time. I would love for you all to definitely leave your comments down below. What do you guys think as far as GM covering up these wheels? Do you think I could be right about them coming up as far as styling goes, or pretty much these having bigger, better brakes because it is a Z06 or the hybrid version? Another thing I want to talk about is the air intake. The air intake look a lot larger on this than it does on the standard Stingray. Another thing I would like to point out is the wheel gap. Look at the wheel gap. This either tells me that there is a wide body on this car, or there's an upgraded suspension on this car. Definitely not the same one it would be on the C8 Mid Engine Corvette Stingray. With that being said, I definitely think GM got a lot of great things coming to this car. I can tell you right now, this will probably be one of the best cars, one of the best mid-engine cars out there on the road, and the bang for your buck. Another thing I like to point out is this side skirt. When GM was first testing out the C8 Mid Engine Corvette Stingray, the base model, we really didn't see a sky skirt until later on. At this point, GM is now putting the side skirt on this thing, which could tell me that they actually want to test this out for its active aero, or they actually want to take this out because they want to see exactly how this car performs with this actual side skirt on the beginning stages of this car. What do you guys think about this? Because I do remember actually seeing the base model C8 not having the side skirts installed when they was actually testing that model out, and now they actually have side skirts on the Z06 or the hybrid during the test modeling process. I want to thank everyone for watching this video. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. Definitely smash the subscribe button so you can become part of this community and definitely part of the giveaways that I do plan to bring to this channel in the near future. Once again, listen to the sound of the C8 Mid Engine Corvette going around this curve.
Yeah, right.
Once again, definitely don't forget to smash the subscribe button. I'm super excited for what General Motors has to come for the new Z06 Mid Engine Corvette, as I do believe this will be one of the best cars on the market and the bang for your buck, as I stated before. If you're interested in any of the latest and the greatest C8 Mid Engine Corvette information, this is definitely a channel you want to be a part of. I know you guys are thinking about my C8 Mid Engine Corvette. You guys are wondering when I'm going to get it, what possibly could be my VIN number, how early I'm going to get it, what color is my car going to be. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to reveal that information pretty soon, so definitely subscribe to this channel and be a part of it. If you would like any other information regarding C8 Mid Engine Corvette, definitely go over to the C8 Mid Engine Corvette forum and you can get a lot of information there as well. Those guys are great. With that being said, I want to thank everyone again, and I look forward to seeing you guys later on in another episode of Seek on a Speed 252.